everybody. This week we have a driver from the GP class. He's also a promoter from Cambridge, Maryland. Thank you for your time, Tom.
Thank you for having me.
Tom, how long have you been racing now?
Uh, 36 years.
36 years. And can you tell us how it started?
My father and I started in a Jersey skiff back in the middle 80s. And I started driving hydroplanes for other people at that time and just kept driving from there.
How many classes did you drove? I know you drove the unlimited too.
Yes, I've driven every inboard hydroplane class and every runabout class except for K boats.
Okay, so you have a big field of experience then.
I've been very fortunate, driven for a lot of really good teams.
Oh, good. Um, the boat you have right now, the GP 525 Fat Chance, it's kind of a different looking boat. Can you tell us the story behind this boat?
Well, yes, the boat was built by John Staudiker, and many years ago, Randy English and his father, George English, and myself got together about having 2.5 mods. And John Staudiker's always been a good friend of ours, a very long-time boat builder of championship boats. And he had a design he wanted us to try, so we did. And that progressed into us making the building the GP 525 from John Staudiker.
How does it compare to our regular GP boat, the one we see most of the time on the water?
I mean, we're extremely competitive when everything works right. So we're able to compete with, the Henderson boats and the Bergeron boats. The difference is our boat is wood. Everyone else is composite and fiberglass.
Yeah, exactly. We don't see much so much boat and wood anymore.
No one's building boats out of wood anymore. And one thing John wanted to do, and that's what he's always built, is wooden boats. And we've always been a good team, and so we said we would try it.
Is there the handling? I think the design is also a little different. I think it was a little harder to get used to it on the course.
Because I'd driven the 2.5 mod, I was used to that design. So it's just been the changes because it's obviously a bigger boat and a faster boat as far as the size, uh, making some adjustments to the boat so it would handle correctly. Took us a little bit of time, but we've gotten everything under control and we're doing well.
You also driven the unlimited, and you have a big sponsor who's also the sponsor of the HRL right now. And the funny thing is, his last name is the same as yours, so many people think that you're related. How does it go? How does it? How did it happen?
Years ago in San Diego race with the Unlimiteds, he stopped by the boat with his family and his grandchildren, and I did what I always do. I picked the kids up and set them on the boat and just answered all the questions and talked to them, and he was real impressed with that, and we became really really good friends over the past 8 or 9 years, and he's wanted to get involved more and more with the boat racing, and he really enjoys it. He's as excited as anyone that drives a boat is. When the season, like our season, gets cut short because of the virus and everything, it upsets him as much as it does everyone else because he's that excited about the races.
Good. Um, um, I think you get, yeah, as you said, you got closer and closer to him, and people, his family call you Uncle Tom. Is that right?
Yes, yep, that's very true. His grandchildren, especially at the younger age when we first started hanging out together, kids are we have the same name, so it's hard for them to not think we're related. So, and Chrissy and I don't mind what, them calling us aunt and uncle. So it's all works out well.
So you gain a bigger family then.
That's right.
Outside of boat racing, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I have a propane piping business. I do underground piping for new housing developments, gas piping for housing developments, and build big storage facilities for propane companies. So that takes up my time outside of racing.
Okay, because you you work a lot, and with the pandemic, did it affect your job, or you were able to continue working?
A lot of my work, we live close to a resort area, Ocean City, which is right on the ocean. And a lot of my work in the wintertime is down there. Well, the pandemic hurt the tourist part of that for the summer. So they didn't do as much work this winter. So it affected me some, but right now I'm still real busy. So uh, we're having some rain and snow and everything else that makes it pretty muddy for me to work, but I still work.
You have snow in Maryland?
Yes, we have snow. Not like you have snow, but we have.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have, but this winter is good for us. We don't have much snow. We used to have a lot more than that.
If we have 3 inches of snow, it's a lot here. It stops traffic.
I guess so. Um, if you're okay, we're gonna can I go with my quarantine questionnaire with you?
Sure.
Sure. Uh, your favorite boat race ever?
My favorite boat race ever.
The one in which you compete, or a best performance, or a boat race you attended and you saw a good race, a race that is memorable for you.
It would be Valleyfield. When my father and I were racing skiffs, we won Valleyfield 4 years in a row, and that was a really, really big deal for us. It's such an electrifying group. The fans are so excited, and they'd walk by and ask us, how we did and what we were going to do, and even walk by and tell us they were betting on us to win the next day. So it was always exciting to race there, and the people were so nice, and they just love racing, and that makes it better for us.
You're the best HRL race course for you.
Hmm. Well, I would have to say the best HRL race course for me would be Cambridge, because I'm so used to racing here in a lot of different classes. I know the race course really well, and that's part of any racer. Where they've raced the most and had the most success is going to be their best race course.
The orders, the difficult one, the one who's giving you the more challenge.
Um, wow, that's tough. Probably Brockville, because where it's so rough there, you constantly have to change how you're driving to not break the boat. And it there's a lot of people that have different opinions and things that they like about racing and don't like about racing. But the challenge is when a course is like Brockville or even Tonawanda, they're great places to go race, but you have to have a different mentality when you drive that race course, because it is rough and you have to drive kind of conservative and still aggressive.
Yeah, because of the current, and since the big boats are making bigger wave on those current river, it's get more and more difficult, I guess.
Yes, it is. And so you have to pay attention to what the water is doing, or you'll get yourself in trouble.
Are you the type of a boxer or brief?
Boxers.
Boxer. I'll tell you, there'll be a few surprise questions. So, um, who's the best driver you ever raced against?
Oh, wow. That's really tough because there are so many, so many. The the advantage of my racing career is I've driven in so many different classes that I've driven in against so many of the best drivers out there. So I really can't pick who would be the best one I've been against because it depends on the class and different drivers have different styles. So that's a tough question.
The
We'll let
one, go ahead.
we'll let that one go. I can't pick that.
The one who gave you the most challenge to race against?
Hmm. Uh, I have to think about that one a minute. Hmm. I don't. Wow, that's really tough. I don't want to try to hold things up, but that's really tough to think about because, like I said, it's in the different classes. I've had different drivers that have been tough to race against. I mean, I've raced against George Kennedy and Dave Greenlaw and Tom Packerdooney and just so many great drivers that it's really hard to pick.
Okay. What is the your uh, your favorite paint job on a boat you ever seen?
Hmm. Favorite paint job on a boat?
Any boat in particular that it was a boat you always admire for his look, or
Wow.
maybe it could be one of yours or somebody else?
Um, I always thought that Brian Reynolds' Gator, the that boat that was named the Gator, that was pretty cool with the color scheme on that and the alligator on it. I thought that was pretty neat looking.
Good. Um, do you have a favorite food during a race weekend?
Favorite food?
Yep, something you have to eat during a race weekend.
Hmm.
If you're in Canada, probably poutine? No?
No. Uh, um, at what is the last race of the season? There they make a sandwich in the place there. It's
Gruyade.
yes, yes, that's it. If they had that at every race, I'd have it. They did have it at Valleyfield. This year, the last time we raced there, they had it at Valleyfield.
Yeah, Gruyade. They're from Valleyfield. It's huge in Valleyfield, and there's always a spot to have your Gruyade in Valleyfield and Bournemouth. So
Yes, Harmon. So that would be it. If it's there, I'm going to have that.
good. Um, do you have a favorite NHL team? Do you follow hockey?
NHL.
NHL, the hockey league,
Yeah, the Washington Capitals.
Washington Capitals. I guess you're more in the NASCAR.
I mean, I do like NASCAR. As far as sports go, hockey is one of my favorites. I love to watch hockey. It's very physical. I played lacrosse all my life, so
Okay.
I
So,
was out lacrosse.
mhm. So do you play any other sports now?
Not anymore.
What what would were the sport that you played before?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse. Anything else?
Um, Pretty much back in high school, I played football, but I played lacrosse until 6 years ago. So I played lacrosse for a long time.
Yeah. What other job do you think you would be good at?
Well, I'm the type of person that if I decide to do something, I'm going to learn how to do it well. So it wouldn't matter what the job was. I would learn how to do it, and I would learn how to be very good at it.
Good. Um, do you ever work out? Do you do workout?
Do I work out?
Yeah, bodybuilding or also
Yes,
training.
I work out quite a bit, 2 or 3 times a week. My work is also very physical, but I do work out to stay in shape.
In my previous interview, I asked a lot of the driver, who do you think is the strongest driver in the HRL? What do you think they answered?
I don't know.
You. I wonder why. Do you think you're the strongest?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think about stuff like that, but I'm as in good a shape as anyone else is.
Um, when you were a kid, what did you want it to be when you were older?
Hmm. Well, I grew up working with my father, so to be to be as smart and as good at what he did as he was is what I wanted, and it's what I do now.
Good. Are you the type of beer, Coors Light or Bud Light?
Bud Light,
Bud Light,
natural light.
extra light. Okay. Uh, um, are you religious?
I am. I obviously believe in God very strongly. I believe He has a path for everyone, and He certainly has saved me more times than He should, I guess.
Um, about saving. Were you ever in a big accident in boat racing?
Unfortunately, I've been in 3 big accidents. I've raced for 36 years, and only to have 3 real serious accidents, I think, is pretty lucky. Um, and I'm lucky to be here, but that's part of what we do. It's never affected me, and it will never affect me. I believe that everyone has a time to go, and when it's my time, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. That's when I'll go.
How's the family reacted when you had your accident?
Um, the good thing is, Chrissy's been with me for a very long time, so she's seen a lot of things happen with other people, and of course, when I'm in an accident, she wants to be left alone. She doesn't want anybody coming up and telling her everything's okay. He's going to be okay. She just wants to be by herself and wait until she sees me. So my daughter, she worries also, but she understands this is what I do, and she does the same thing. She waits to see me when I come in and make sure everything's okay.
How many kids do you have?
Just one. I
Just
have
one.
my daughter Savannah.
Did she ever wanted to race?
She thought she did. Um, she talked about it a couple different times. I put her in a 2.5 mod once and let her make a couple laps at the Cambridge race one year. And she got out and decided that's not what she wanted to do.
So she had her chance, but good. So you never stopped her to dream about anything. You let her.
No, if she wants to try something, I've always encouraged, Chrissy and I have always encouraged her to try whatever she wants. Just make sure she gives it a real positive effort and decide from there.
Are you are you the type of guy who needs to have a radio person talk a lot about to him? How's your radio man as to work with you when you're on the course?
Very little. I don't want the radio person to talk a lot at all. Actually, Chrissy does my radios now, and basically telling me where someone is, if I'm close to someone or someone's getting close to me, is pretty close to all the information I need.
Probably it's the fact that you've been racing for so many years. You used to be racing without any radio, any spotter, so you had to learn on yourself and to figure out the course on yourself. So
Yeah, that's very true. You know, the advantage of the spotter is when a boat's broken down at the other end, you can be told about it and be preparing for that before you get there and see it. So you know, the spotter plays a very important role, but they're not the driver. They're there to give you information that you may not be able to see. So that's what I expect out of a spotter.
what do you think about the system developed at the HRL, the AccuClock? Clock? Do you have it on your boat?
I do not. Obviously, I have to have it this year. We talked about getting it for last year. Obviously, that last year didn't happen, but I've seen it. You know, I've done some research on it and looked at it in other people's boats, and I think it's a good idea. Everybody with the same timing system, there's advantages to that. I think it makes for better racing.
Good. All right, your steak, medium, blue, medium, rare, well done. How do you like your steak?
Medium.
Medium. um, one question. Now we're talking about having a season this year. Can I ask your prediction? Who will be our champion for the different classes? So
GP would be me.
good.
If
Rooting
I
for you.
don't believe in myself, no one else will.
Yeah, exactly. That's the good cheer. In the H350.
Wow, that is an extremely tough class to pick. But I think Ken Henderson um, has as good a shot as anyone.
Okay. In the F class, the F 2500.
Scott Lidicote,
Okay.
he really did well last year, and I know he's worked hard in the off season to improve a little bit more, and I think he's going to do it this year.
The S class, the 2.5.
I don't know a lot of drivers in that class, so it's hard for me to pick one for that class.
Okay. And the Jersey Speed Skiff.
I'm going to go with Jimmy Stewart on that. I think,
Good.
well,
Um, the fact that the New Zealand or guys, Jack and Ken Lawton, are supposed to come back. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I mean, they're great competitors. You know, they bring a lot of class to our organization. You know, they are very good at what they do, and they're very good to drive against. They're good drivers, and you know, I enjoy competing with them.
Would you like to race in New Zealand?
I really would. That would really be a big plus. I mean, I've got to go different places with the unlimited, but to go to New Zealand and race would be really neat.
What are the different places you race in unlimited?
As far as out of the country, I raced in Doha, Qatar, in the Middle East. Um, Raced there 5 different times, so it was exciting. It's always fun to go and learn different cultures and how people live, and so that's part of being able to go somewhere else. Because obviously, everywhere you go, there's some things that are different.
Do you have a routine when you're at a race before you start? Do you have to do something in a particular order, or is this just go with the flow?
Um, you know, I really don't. You know, I'm very concentrated on what I'm doing. So when it's time to get ready, I'm in the truck. I get my uniform on. I get my shoes on and my helmet, and I sit there and I think about what I got to do and who's in the heat and what lane I'm in in the race course. The good thing is we've raced on most of these courses many times. So each course has something a little bit different, and I play whatever that issue is in my mind over and over. So I'm able to handle it when I get out there.
Do you like the lane assignment, the
I do.
predetermined?
I do. I did not think originally. I didn't think that was a good idea, but it actually works out. It does. It's surprising, I guess, because I didn't believe in it at first, but it works out very well. And I think the way they did it the last year is more than fair. I think it works out, makes for real good racing for the spectators. And we all have our own agenda on what we want to do as drivers, but the bottom line is we got to put on a great race for the spectators, or there won't be any racing. So I think that's the best format for racing.
Do you have a favorite lane?
Of course, lane one.
Of course, it's easier. The shorter course.
That's right.
Do you have a favorite TV show?
A favorite TV show. There's a show here in the States. If I had to pick a favorite TV show, it's called Yellowstone. Is the series? It's a series, and so I guess that would be it.
In the history of Hydroplane, is there a driver you would have loved to race against uh, any period of time? Somebody you knew you never had the chance to race against, and if you would have the chance, travel time and race against one driver, who would it be?
Would have to be a gentleman by the name of Skeeter Johnson. He uh, has passed away many years ago, but he was a driver from here. Won many championships, set many records, drove a lot of different classes, and was a very good racer. So between him and I'd have to say also Jim Cropfeld. I got to know Jim Cropfeld a little bit. I never got to race against him, but I would have liked that also.
Do you prefer bar soap or liquid soap?
Bar soap.
um, who do you think is the sexiest driver in the HRL?
Oh, sexiest driver. Wow. I don't think any of them are sexy. I guess if there was a sexy driver, let's say Andrew Tate.
Your biggest fear?
I have no fears.
Your biggest dream?
To win Valleyfield in the GP.
Who do you think is the best crew chief? Yours?
Sorry?
Yours?
Well, I'm going to go with Mike Andrews. He was really good at what he did. He made that team run.
Yeah, he was a great man. Do you hunt?
Yes, I do.
Do you go? I guess. Do you go fishing? You're near the water.
I'm not a fisherman.
Oh, okay.
I live on the water, but I'm not a fisherman.
You're not a fisherman. Are you more the dog or cat type?
Dog.
Dog. Do you have one?
Yes, I do.
What type? What breed?
Chesapeake.
A Chesapeake.
Magnum. Come here. Yeah, well, Magnum. Come here. Come here. Can't see him.
Oops. Just a little bit.
He's my buddy.
He's your buddy.
Yep.
Where do you think I think that question I can skip. You answered it earlier with who has the biggest fan in HRL. I think you answered it earlier with the Valleyfield.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Not really. There's different movies that I like, but I like all of Clint Eastwood's Westerns.
And what kind of music do you like to listen?
Country music.
Country music. Do you have a favorite artist?
Hank Williams Jr.
Good. Um, do you, before a race, is there a song maybe you'd like to listen to pump you up to get you in the mood, or no music, silence, and just concentration?
I just go with silence and just racing.
Good. Um, who do you think in the HRL has the best uniform?
Me.
Good.
Actually, I really like Tyler Cadets did my uniform a couple years ago, and it's a really, really nice looking uniform.
Good. Um, do you have what do you do in your spare time? Do you have a hobby?
Not much time for hobby. Between boat racing and work, I hunt. That's it.
uh, since you're also a promoter, you're working with the Cambridge Regatta. Um, now we know that they're expecting to move the Cambridge race at the end of October. How do you work with that? And what made Cambridge go with the HRL?
Well, uh, HRL, it speaks for itself because they're such a great organization, and how they put on boat races and the amount of boats that they have at boat races. That's what we go for. We don't go to just run a boat around a circle. We want competition, and we want good competition, and that's what HRL is all about. So for us to decide to go HRL, it was pretty easy because things weren't going well here, and making the change to HRL was a big plus, a big advantage for us and our community.
And having the race in October, what kind of weather can we expect?
Well, actually, October is really nice here. It's not cold yet here. It doesn't get cold here as fast as it does where you are. So we actually have some really nice weather in October. It's not hot. Especially everyone from Canada, knows how hot it can be in Cambridge, especially when we had the race in July before HRL, and the guys would come down. It was really hot. So October doesn't have that kind of heat usually. So, you know, mid 70s, maybe low 70s, and still nice weather.
Yeah. I guess the water at the end of the summer in October, the water will be warmer too. Will it make a difference on the performance of the boat?
It'll matter on our tides because we're very tidal here. So we have more water in October than we do in May. It's kind of strange how that happens, and it doesn't affect us a lot usually. But it if anything, it's more water, not less.
Okay. The the temperature of the water is not different at the end of this.
It's 10 degrees. It's not enough to affect boat racing. Between May and October, it's 10, maybe 15 at the most. So it's not a lot.
The big issue with water in Cambridge is this: it's the fact that it's salt water.
Yes, it is salt. The good thing is where we are, it's not heavy salt, but it is still salt.
So it's harder on the engine and everything.
Yes, you do have to spend more time cleaning everything up when you're done racing at Cambridge.
uh, Tom, I will give you a few moments. Just maybe if you have to thank anybody, maybe your sponsor, your members of your crew, maybe the members of your organization. Uh, I'll give you a brief moment. So it's your time to shine again. Thank you for your time, but I'll give you time to promote you and your team and everything. So go ahead.
Well, as far as the Cambridge race, we have a few really good people. There's not a lot of us, but obviously I'm the one that's in charge of it. But there's quite a few people that actually do a lot of the work, and I can't thank them enough because I certainly am not going to do it by myself and would not want to do it by myself. So I have to thank them for everything they do. And as far as my crew goes, we're a small crew, and basically family. Same thing. I can't thank them enough because I can't drive the boat and work on the boat and hold the boat and fix the sandwich. And then, of course, with the reliable diamond tool and Jonathan Thompson, you know, we all owe him a great deal of gratitude because the man is just so excited about boat racing, and he does so much for HRL, for the Cambridge race, and of course for Fat Chance Racing. You know, Randy and I appreciate him so much. And then, you know, I've raced. Most people don't know this, but in all the years I've raced for the English family or with the English family, Randy and his mom and dad and sister since 1986. On and off, I've raced for them that long. And Randy and I are like brothers. We've been together for so long. And so I just can't thank them enough because they've given me so many great opportunities to do the things that I've been able to accomplish. And very, very happy for that.
Thank you very much. And I think Randy is a great guy too. So you're surrounded with great people.
Yes, I am. That's for sure.
Thank you very much. And hopefully we'll see you this summer, and we'll hope you'll have a great race in Cambridge in October.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye now.